Hello, everyone. This is Chris George. I'm with my very famous co-host, Victor the Voice Fuhrman, and we are the Red Room Crossing the Line. Victor, my friend, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Chris. Welcome, everybody, to the Red Room. You know, Chris, I have a little piece of news here that's just breaking. We talked last week on our show about the singer by the name of Keisha going on the Jimmy Kimmel show. That's the one with the haunted vagina, and we found out that she's actually invited Second Sight to investigate her vagina.
Oh, wow.
It's been determined that the entire team can fit in there, so we don't have to worry about anything.
Oh, beautiful. That's a good thing.
And what we're going to do is we're going to do EDP and EMF. The EMF is extreme man fucking, and EDP is extreme vagina penetration. I think between those two things we'll be able to exercise your pussy.
well, since I'm the lead psychic medium on the team, do I get to go in first?
Absolutely.
I'm really not into sloppy seconds and all that stuff. So I'm going to go in first, and Victor,
but Chris,
let's go in together.
One thing. Chris, you have to take a flashlight in case you get lost, okay?
Well, you know me. I always wear my headlamp on my head, when I'm going down. So we got nothing to worry about there. There's always light at the end of that tunnel.
So speaking of sexual injuries, that's the topic of tonight's show.
Sexual injuries. Now, listen, I'm wondering how many people can actually call and admit to some sexual injuries. I have a couple of stories, as a matter of fact. None that I'm, all too proud of, but I will share since, this is our show, Crossing the Line and whatnot. Being one of the two hosts of the show, I figure, listen, if we're going to talk about sexual-related injuries, we have to fess up, and I hope you're going to fess up too, Vic.
I am, and in addition to you and I and the guests that are going to be calling in, we also have with us again tonight the wonderful Charlotte Rose. Charlotte, welcome.
Hi, guys.
How you been, Charlotte? You always add a breath of fresh air to the to the Red Room, and we love having you. What's going on with you?
Thank you. Well, I'm just remembering back to a story I wrote about 20 years ago called "Casualties of Love."
Okay.
And it seems appropriate for this particular show. Of sexual injuries. And this was like way before 50 Shades of Grey and the whole idea that people actually wanted to get hurt while having sex and enjoyed that. It was just a story about all the little minor injuries that people can suffer just while doing it the regular old way.
Huh. Sounds interesting and somewhat painful.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of different flavors of STDs these days, and there's a lot of, there are a lot of things that you really have to watch out for, like chlamydia and gonorrhea and herpes and HPV and pelvic inflammatory disease. It all sounds so gross, but you have to really be on top of your sexual health. But then there are these little things that happen, like you just like a tender clitoris, It's sort of getting rubbed the wrong way, and by the time you're done with sex, instead of feeling really great, you feel like really worn out and like you need an ice pack between your legs.
Oh, my God.
That problem?
Well, listen, I don't know. I've been with women where I've hit that clitoris for quite some time, and I don't know. I don't think I've ever injured a clitoris before.
Well, that is really good news, and perhaps one of the magical secrets is that you're using proper stimulation and you know your partner well enough to know what kind of motion is going to please her and not, create friction.
Yeah, well, I got to say, I've kind of been lucky in that aspect because most of my women drip like the Hoover Dam, and I've never had a problem with chafing, so that's a good thing.
That's awesome.
So, Tiffany, our lady behind the glass, do we have any callers yet for the Red Room?
Not right this second.
Okay, so callers. Victor, why don't you give the caller number and